You're listening to the Basketball Nerd Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Basketball Nerd Podcast, Episode 4. I'm your host, as always, Derek Lauder, joined by my co-host, Frank Alger. In today's show, we're going to talk about really much everything that's going on in the second round. We've had some great series. Kawhi dominating that playoff series. We've got the Bucks looking to take a really dominating lead on the Celtics tonight. Blazers and Nuggets look like they might go 7 in a great series. And then the series everybody really wants to know and talk about, Warriors-Rockets, that we have Game 4 tonight. So what are you thinking about Game 4 tonight? We'll just jump right into it. As far as Harden, Steph, is Steph going to get back on track? It's been by far one of his worst playoff series he's ever played. So what do you see coming up tonight for those two, for that game, and who do you see winning it?
Yeah, Steph has been obviously nowhere to be found. It's pretty clear he's missing. He's shooting 35% in the series, 25% from three. He's not. He went 2 of 8 at the rim in Game 3. So, and KD's been sensational. So,
KD has been huge.
And Klay hasn't really been that good this series either, or at least in Game 3. This series could be completely different. Game 1, the Warriors got a lot of favorable calls, so this could be completely different. Game 4 I'm so excited for tonight. I think everyone's excited for Game 4. Everybody's gonna be watching this game like, okay, are we gonna get the series that everyone hyped it up to be? Like, are we gonna get this long battle series, or are the Warriors gonna win this game and the series is gonna feel deflated and it's gonna feel over? I think.
Give me a percentage chance that the Rockets win the series if they win tonight.
A percentage chance if they win tonight? If they win tonight,
they win the series.
I picked Rockets in 7 before the series, so I'm standing by that pick right now. I'd say it's 50-50 if they win tonight. If they lose tonight, it's over, obviously. So
50-50 if they win tonight. Okay, yeah,
that's what I feel like. But before the series started, I was thinking the Rockets were gonna win this series, and Game 1 really was huge. But I really anticipate tonight the Rockets coming out with high energy, must-win feel like they played in Game 3, which they were the more physical team in Game 3 too, and I think that's a big reason why Steph struggled too, is the physicality and it's really getting him off his rhythm. And
absolutely. I think one of the stats that I saw, that Steph Curry, 25 out of 99 playoff games, hasn't dropped 20 points.
Did you double check that stat? Did you?
Yeah, so he drops 20 points, over 20 points in most of the playoff games, over 75%. But still, in 1 out of 4 games he suits up for, he doesn't reach the 20-point mark.
Okay, so 1 out of 4 games he just doesn't drop 20 points.
He doesn't drop 20, which
the 3 other games
sounds like it isn't a lot, but
games.
It's Steph Curry. We're talking about people who guys considered the greatest scorer, greatest shooter of all time.
I feel
like he should get 20.
I don't buy into this narrative about Steph Curry. I'll say Steph Curry stats, like, he kind of just, if anything, his averages take a slight dip in the playoffs, but he still affects the game at a great level. He is 4th in NBA history in career playoff box plus minus. 4th. And then his career playoff averages are 26 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds on 61 true shooting percentage, and his playoff net rating is plus 12. So he still is,
that's
very
true.
Effective for his team. So I don't want to buy
He's very
into that
effective in the playoffs, but like back when the Warriors were getting started, one of the takes I had on them, this is before they had KD, was that when they got into late playoff series, they were going to struggle because the majority of their offense were based on jump shots at that point. And ball movement, yes, it was open jumpers, but when you get to late playoff games, I felt like they could have a bad series. But with KD there, they've completely eliminated that a couple ways. First, Steph is absolutely deadly getting to the hole. And Klay Thompson has improved putting the ball on the deck. He still is primarily a shooter, but KD can run ISO from anywhere on the court. So right now the Warriors honestly need KD more than KD needs them, because if they didn't have KD right now and Steph and Klay struggled like they are in this series, they'd be down 2-1, maybe 3-0. KD, the Warriors need KD right now, and he's helping them so much. And next year when he leaves and possibly Kawhi leaves, the NBA is going to be incredibly exciting. I'm really excited to see what kind of the league looks like next year.
I feel you, but I don't buy into the narrative that Curry is bad in the playoffs or isn't a good playoff performer. He's not like LeBron or KD or even Jokic, whose numbers go up a notch when they go into the playoffs and take their game up to another level. He kind of just maintains or slightly takes a dip, but he's still great because he's Steph Curry. He's that good.
Yeah, that's very true. The ones who do take that next step in the playoff, though, are the ones who establish themselves. Steph's done it a different way. He literally revolutionized the game of basketball with his 3-point shot, with his season.
Yeah.
That he hit 400.
I love the ads for his little docu-series on Facebook or something, and it like advertises like the man who ruined the game. Like he's like appreciating, people who say that because it's kind of dope. Like if I was Steph Curry, I'd be like, yeah, I ruined the game. I was that good. That I was that good of a shooter that old time NBA guys said I ruined the game because kids just going to the gym and start shooting threes now because I was that good at shooting threes. Like that's sick.
Bro, it's very parallel to technology and to business when you have a disruptive technology that comes into an industry and it completely changes the efficient frontier of what businesses can do in that industry, and it pushes it out. And what that disruptive technology does is every single firm in the industry will eventually adopt that technology because it's that much better. Yeah. That's what's happening with the 3-point jump shot. It was disruptive technology. Steph came in and he showed, oh my God, if you can just get this good at shooting threes, then you're going to be one of the best players in the NBA. And then the team started to realize, if we can just get this good at shooting threes, we're going to be one of the best teams. And
with
it's
the analytics,
it's snowballed.
Where it's like, it just showed where people really took at the analytics numbers. And it's like, hey, you got to be shooting threes or layups and dunks. Like those are most efficient shots by far. Anything outside the paint and not behind the 3-point line now is considered not an analytically good, efficient shot.
You know who's the ultimate analytic guy?
Who?
Andre Iguodala. Threes and dunks.
That's it.
Strictly
wide open
threes
or
and dunks
dunks
for that guy.
I mean, he's got to love playing with the Warriors. I would want to go back to the
point
point
50 with
about how you say, the Warriors need KD right now, which is, pretty easy to say. He's been arguably probably the best player in the playoffs right now, averaging 36 a game on, 52% shooting and 44% from three, which is, unbelievable. So it would be very intriguing if KD leaves to see how the Warriors play next year in the playoffs, because I mean they showed for 2 years without KD in the playoffs that they were just fine, that they were as dominant as ever. They won one championship and they were inches away from going back-to-back champions.
That was a different NBA. This NBA that's about to be, if KD leaves, there's about to be a team with KD that's a monster. Kawhi's about to go to a team that's going to be a monster. You're going to have the Mavs next year who are going to be good. You're going to have the Nuggets.
KD was on the Thunder, who almost beat the Warriors 2 years. KD was already on another team that was a monster that played the Warriors, and the Warriors beat them.
Were balling. Who was the best team? Who were the best teams they were playing against? Who were their main competitors when they were winning those championships?
Well, it was clear it was OKC,
Thunder,
which they almost were beat, but they came back and beat
LeBron.
They came back and beat that OKC team. Yeah, and then LeBron and the Cavs, obviously. Other than that, that there was no other competition.
I just think that if KD leaves, the Warriors are going to have 4 to 5 teams now that are legit competition for them in the NBA. The Bucks are only going to get better. The 76ers could get better and be competition. And then on the other side, you've got the Rockets. You've got possibly LeBron's Lakers. You've got the Nuggets who are looking good. Wherever Kawhi goes is going to be a weapon. Wherever KD goes.
If KD leaves, that the Warriors are still going to be like the favorites to win the championship. They're still going to be a really good team. And I'm just saying, you're saying right now in these playoffs, they need KD, when you watch the games, it looks like you need them. It looks like they're,
they need KD
it's
right
a
now.
different Warrior style, especially against the Clippers too. Like they ran after game 2, they went a lot of ISO with KD, and they are still running kind of a lot of ISO with KD, which is like not what they're accustomed to doing, obviously. No. And they do an insane amount of where they have Iguodala or Draymond. Before KD was there, they had Draymond have the ball at the top of the key, and Steph just run around and get like 3 or 4 off-ball screens, and Clay at the same time running around getting 3 or 4 off-ball screens, and whichever one pops open, you hit. And that's why they were so hard to guard. And, I mean, they still do that, and they do that with KD at the top of the key still, but it seems like when the situation gets out, like in Game 3 in the third quarter, the game was kind of slipping away, and the Rockets were outplaying the Warriors, out-rebounding them, just playing harder, and KD, went, nuclear in that third quarter, and, really brought them back into that game, obviously. So without KD, obviously, I don't think that game is close. It just would be interesting to see how the Warriors play in the playoffs after having 3 straight years with KD on the team in the playoffs. When they have proven
Warriors have been running
that they
so
could
much
play.
ISO, like you said. Like at the end of the Rockets game 1, it was at least 2 to 3 possessions where at the end of the game, clutch time, they ran like a little double screen the other way, and then ISO'd KD 4 feet off the block. And he was one-on-one with either Eddie House or PJ Tucker every time, and it was either foul or bucket every single time because KD's pretty much unstoppable. So who do you have tonight in Houston?
I said I got Rockets today. I think they're gonna play harder. I think they have a must-win attitude in this game. I think it'll be a close game though. I think it's gonna go down to the wire again. But
I hope Rockets. I
like the
think
Rockets.
it's gonna be extremely close.
Harden has been just as good as KD this series. If you look at it, they basically have taken the exact same amount of shots, averaging pretty much like right around the same amount of points. Harden isn't shooting as good as percentage, but he gets to the free throw line so much more. So that's why efficiently and like effectiveness, they're pretty comparable in this series. A thing where I've said is they need to get Chris Paul more involved. I mean, he's still playing good. He's still averaging 17 a game or an efficiency and stuff. He's not shooting the 3 ball particularly super well in these playoffs so far. But last year it seemed like when Harden and CP3 were on the court, especially in the fourth quarter, they would definitely let CP3 get some offensive sets. Now it feels like whenever Harden is in the game, it feels like Harden always, every possession, has the ball in his hand running the sets. And Harden's great, but I think it would help Harden so much if you let CP3 run some of that and that action and the pick and roll action. He's one of the best pick and roll players in NBA history.
Yeah, they need to get CP3. It's not like get him the ball more. It's like let him run the offense more. But I think that
just when Harden's in the game,
they are gonna get when Harden's in the game. Yeah, I think Rockets. I don't know. I'll take Rockets tonight. I'll take Rockets by like 3 or 4 tonight in a close game that hopefully Harden and Chris Paul pull out late.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel? Because you picked Rockets in 6 pre-series.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like these teams are way more evenly matched than people wanted to make it out after the first 2 games. I think it was just not just extraordinarily bad luck, but really bad officiating in the first game, and then just deflated us in the second game. But if the Rockets win tonight, I don't think they're going to win in 6. That'd be crazy to beat the Warriors 4 times straight, but they're definitely right on with the series. I'd give them like a 40% chance to advance. All right, so we'll move on to series on the other side of the country, 76ers versus Raptors. Kind of an unexpected outcome, I'd say, of the game yesterday. I think that almost everyone was kind of expecting, with Siakam a little bit shaken up, for the 76ers to come and play like they did in Game 3 and probably get a win, go up 3-1. They played incredible in Game 3. But instead, you had Kawhi come out and, again, play like the best player in the playoffs this far. He's having an incredible series. Has he proved to you that he's in the conversation for best player in the NBA?
Well, yeah, without a doubt, these playoffs, I'd probably say he's been the best player in the playoffs. For me, the best players in the playoffs for me right now is probably Kawhi, Jokic, and KD in that order. And then you got Giannis and Dame in the next tier below. That's what I would put that. I saw
McCollum's in that next tier too.
Yeah.
With Giannis and Dame, McCollum's been playing just as good as Dame. Better than Dame in this series.
McCollum, the last 2 games, has been the Blazers' best offensive player. But before these last 2 games, McCollum has not been good in the playoffs. So I'm not going to put him in that tier. I'm not going to put him with the same tier as Dame. The Blazers are still, the Nuggets are still way more terrified of Dame going off than McCollum. And if the Nuggets can keep on containing Dame like they have been with Torrey Craig and Gary Harris, like literally last night, yesterday, Lillard only played well when Torrey Craig and Gary Harris basically wasn't on the court. Like when
he only played well at the end of the game, but he did catch fire.
His best play was the start of the second quarter yesterday, and
he scored like 10 in the fourth.
When Torrey Craig and he did all right. He was solid in the fourth, but I mean it still wasn't easy shots that he was getting.
He was getting buckets.
Torrey Craig and Gary Harris, big physical guards. We saw this in the Pelican series last year too with Rondo. He's not a big physical guard, but he's a physical guard. And Drew Holiday, which is the big physical guard, best defending point guard in the NBA. I mean,
incredible
just
defender.
Absolutely handcuffed Lillard for that whole series. And we're kind of seeing it right now that he's not really popping off too well. I mean, he's still got 30 last night. I mean, he's Damian Lillard. He's still a great player. He's still going to get his buckets, but you got to make it hard for him. And the Nuggets have done a good job with that. I'll say that.
Yeah, I agree. The Nuggets, here's the thing with the Nuggets. You worry about Dame and CJ goes off. You worry about CJ and Dame beats you. That's the difference. So we'll see if they do focus on CJ. But at the end of the game yesterday, Dame started to get it going for the first time this series. He's really struggled this series.
It's not the first time this series. He dropped like 38 in game 1. He didn't play well in game 2.
Yeah, but he hasn't been
in game 3
shooting good.
He was all right, and McCollum was last night he was all right. He was pretty solid. Like game 1 and game 4. Game 1 was his best game. Game 1 he dropped like 38 on great shooting.
From 3 he hasn't been shooting good. The game yesterday he shot 2 for 7. And the game 3 he shot 2 for 9. And so I just feel like if he gets it going and has a game where he shoots like 6 for 12 or 5 for 10 from 3, they're going to take that game. It's going 7. I think we can probably both agree it's going 7.
It feels like a 7-game series. I think there's only been one double-digit lead for either team in this entire series. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Like
that's
like every
crazy
game
stat.
has been like close throughout.
Yeah. So back to 76ers Raptors, who do you take in for the rest of this series? I mean, I know Kawhi's proven that he's one of the best players in the NBA so far. I honestly think Kawhi has a great argument for best player in the NBA. Back to that, he is out there literally making it look easy.
The Raptors, when he's off the court in this series, is a -49.
They're struggling.
Wow.
I mean, they're playing a really good team, though. They're playing a really good basketball team. Kawhi Leonard has the best winning percentage in NBA history, minimum 250 games. So it's safe to say that when he's on the floor, you could win a championship. It doesn't really matter. All you got to do is...
I had this take, like, the consensus, I feel like everyone, because Kawhi got hurt, missed an entire year of basketball, and didn't get to play in the playoffs, so we didn't get to see him. But the last time he was in the playoffs before this series, the last time we saw him, he was up. They were up. It was KD's first year in Golden State. They were up 20-plus points midway through the third quarter in Oracle, game 1, before Zaza hurt his ankle. I mean, I'm not saying they would have won that series or anything, but they would have won game 1 with Kawhi. And then you saw the Spurs, as soon as Kawhi got hurt and left that game, I mean, you're up 20 midway through the third, and that lead literally vanished. Instantly. They lost by double digits that game. They were up 20
taking the Raptors in the rest of the series.
They weren't even competitive the rest of that series, so it just shows how great Kawhi was even before that injury. It's not like he took his game to another level going into this. It's just he was hurt, and we forgot Kawhi has proven he's one of the greatest playoff performers we've ever. He is a guy who's in that LeBron, KD level where when he gets in the playoffs, he takes his game to another level.
I agree. Kawhi Leonard could prove this playoffs that he's the best player in the NBA. Could very easily happen. And I could see it happening.
I mean, if he gets the NBA Finals,
if he gets to the finals, and he can go off in the finals. But the thing is, I don't see them beating anyone in the finals unless he gets some serious help.
Kawhi is shooting 59% in the playoffs right now. Like
I know it. I think he's averaging 36 a game on
no,
that. 37 a game on
he's
that.
averaging 33, but 59%.
33
is
a game
insane.
on that.
Like to put it in perspective, KD's averaging 35, but on 50% shooting. So, I mean,
What's he averaging in the series shooting? I'm pretty sure
it's got to be over
that-
60%.
And then I'm pretty sure it's like upwards of 35, 36 points.
Yeah, in this series, he's averaging like 39.
That's incredible. That is incredible. So who do you have? Who do you still think Sixers are going to take it?
Embiid's got to get his head, consistently in every single game. I don't want to hear this. Oh, now he has an upper respiratory infection, and that's why he only.
Yeah, what
took,
is this guy like? A hypochondriac? What is he injured every single day?
If you're the Sixers and Embiid goes out there and gets you 11 points, like you're probably gonna lose. I mean, they still were right there in that game, but with how Embiid played, I was not surprised they lost. He only took 7 shots.
No.
How sick? If you're only gonna be out there and take 7 shots? I mean, Embiid, you're supposed to be like the focal point, the best player on this team. I mean, if you're sick,
if he's on the floor and he's not the focal point, it's not good.
You shouldn't even play. If you're that sick, where you're like, I can barely even play. I'm only gonna go shoot 7 shots. I'm not gonna even be remotely aggressive. I'm just gonna go through the motions. Like, you shouldn't even play, man. Like, or if you're gonna play, and you're gonna be like, I'm sick, like. That shouldn't affect you that much. I don't care how badly you shoot it or not, but you got to stay aggressive if you're Embiid. If you stop being aggressive, that hurts the whole entire 76ers offense, and it showed big time in the fourth quarter. Their offense went stale. They were lost.
And the Night King Kawhi went off, and that was that.
Yeah. I still got Sixers in 6, though. I'll say that. Game 5.
Sixers in 6? You think they're just going to win 5 and 6?
Yeah. They're going to come out in Toronto in Game 5. Kawhi's got no one with him.
That's crazy.
Embiid's going to come back and play good. Butler's going to come back and play. Butler's going to come out there with that killer instinct, and he's going to give everything he's got. They're going to play high-level defense. I see if the Raptors, the only way the Raptors I see them winning Game 5 is if Siakam and Lowry show up, which Lowry's not showing up. If you get a good game from Lowry, he's going to get 14 points and 7 assists. Like, that's a good game from Lowry.
Yeah, but Lowry hasn't had a good game yet. He's due.
He doesn't have
If he
good
gets
games.
you 25, it can happen.
He has like one 25-point game in the playoffs.
He's an NBA player.
Out of like
he's an NBA
14
player.
games. There's
But
a reason
Siakam,
why Kawhi's trader tweeted $33 million in no game, because he has $33 million in no game.
Well, yeah. I mean, Kawhi's gone. We can talk about that for a second, but I think Kawhi's gone for sure.
I'm sure.
He's gone
I'm sure
KD.
you think You got Raptors in 7. You said Raptors in 5 before the series. So what do you think? Raptors in 7 now?
I'll say this: the Raptors are not as consistent as I thought they'd be.
Raptors will
I think
get
Raptors in 7.
destroyed by the Bucks. I'll say that.
I think home court the rest of the way through. Yeah, I think Bucks. Yeah. But I will say this: Blazers or Nuggets versus Warriors is going to be a good series. It's going to be a good series. It's not going to be a blowout.
Yeah. Well, who do you have in Game 5? Raptors, Sixers. Raptors?
Yeah, I think the home court's just going to win out.
For the rest
And I think
of the
Raptors
series.
are going to take it.
Raptors in 7.
Yeah, Raptors in 7. And I agree. I think Bucks could win in 5. But
what about
on that
Bucks?
same note,
what
though,
about Bucks
Kawhi's
Celtics?
been insane.
Bucks Celtics today.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Bucks Celtics.
Must
Bucks
win
Celtics
for
game
Boston.
4. I feel like Bucks Celtics game 4, we're just going to see Giannis impose his will. It's going to go one of two ways. Either Kyrie is going to go insane and they're going to win in front of the Boston crowd, which would be nice. We could push all these second-round series to tied tonight. If both those teams could win, that'd be kind of cool. But I can't see the Celtics winning. The Bucks are really good. Game 1, everybody freaked out. They don't realize the Bucks had never been in this situation before. A lot of their young players had never played, against that kind of pressure, second round, and actually not just like a team. Yeah, like actually second round, the team that's expected to win. Like the number 1 seed, and it's weird. But then all of a sudden, second game, they started to realize, okay, we're the team that's the first seed for a reason. We're good. We're better than this team, and they started to show over 4 quarters of basketball twice now that they're better than the team. I see Bucks tonight taking a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, I don't think it's even that they realize like they're the better team. I think they just came out Game 1. They played really bad. They had a bad performance, and they went back and they're like, we got to get back to playing. We got to play Bucks basketball. We can't have a game like that because this is the thing, because people haven't seen the Bucks play in the playoffs, right? And they haven't seen, the Bucks are the number 1 seed, and I've talked about their dominance in other podcasts of like their dominance is on an all-time kind of level if you look at the numbers. And people continue still overvalue the Celtics like no other. The Celtics have literally shown no signs of greatness this entire year. Not one moment. They're a 47-win team for a reason. They're an average playoff team. They're a good top 4 seeded average playoff team. That's what they are. People still going to this series thought they really had a shot at the championship, which is just insane to me. They're not on the Bucks level. The Bucks are the better team, the better coach team too. I'll say that. Budenholzer got this team. Brad Stevens, after this year, I'm saying he's overrated now because you have on paper the Celtics are ridiculous and they haven't put it together chemistry-wise, or they just haven't been a great team, which what everyone thought they were going to be.
Let's see what happens before we start calling Brad Stevens overrated. He's a great basketball coach. He is a great basketball coach. Everyone wanted to put him on like Pop's level after last year's playoffs. Like, he did a good job last year. Well, to get on Pop's level, you got to do it for a long time. You got to do it consistently. But as far as X's and O's and the actual thinking of the game, he's a really good
Budenholzer's out-coaching him, though. Middleton
so let me ask you this, though. What do you think the 76ers versus Bucks would go? How many games would that go?
I mean, I would look, their regular season play, every single game they played was like insane. Giannis dropped 50 in 2 of the games, and one of those games he dropped 50. The Sixers beat him. That would be such an entertaining series. I would take Bucks, but we'll get into that if that comes. But that would be a very entertaining series. I got Bucks though tonight for sure. I got Bucks in 5. I got Bucks tonight, and then I got Bucks game 5. Game 5, regardless of what happens tonight, will be a blowout. Just mark my words. If you're a betting man, take Bucks minus whatever in game 5 because they're winning that game.
All right, let's do a couple rapid fire questions here before we wrap up. No explanations on these. I'll just fire them out. You let me know your answers. More points tonight, Steph and KD or Harden and Chris Paul?
Steph and KD.
All right. More points tonight, Giannis or Kyrie?
Giannis.
More points tonight, Giannis or Steph?
Giannis.
Agreed. Do you think Steph's going to break out and have a good game?
I mean, I don't know if he's going to have like a 30-point game. I mean, he could. I definitely see him scoring more than like 20. Even with Steph and KD outscoring, Harden and CP3 is my prediction. The reason why I think the Rockets still win is because Gordon is honestly the second best scorer for the Rockets and has been sensational so far. So I expect Gordon to play really well. Again, he's played well in every game, honestly. So he's been their second best scorer behind Harden, not CP3.
I fully expect Steph to have a pretty good game, and also I guarantee that he will laugh at every single foul call that's called on him. That's a guarantee.
Who, Steph?
Yeah. He'll do the smirk and the walk away with the hands on the hips.
One thing I hate so much with the Warriors and Steve Kerr is when they get like a foul call they don't agree with and they cut to Steve Kerr. I wish you could like see it, but he gets like this perplexed looks and he was like, and he's just like, he's not like he's arguing. He's just being like so like what's
confuddled. Like he doesn't even understand it.
So arrogant in a sense of like he has like his hands out and he like looks back at the bench. He's like, wait, what? They called a foul on us?
That's a
what?
Foul? They
for
call
what?
Fouls on the Golden State Warriors still?
And like it has me it makes me so that's the like Draymond after every basket, every shot he makes, he screams, and one he makes a wide open layup, no one touches him.
And one. Yeah, it like walks into the halfway into the tunnel. He's like, and one halfway in the tunnel. The crowd's like freaking out. They're like, that's my power forward. Yeah. All right, so we're kind of wrapping up here. Thanks for tuning in today, checking out our second round podcast again. If you guys have any feedback or just want to check us out, go ahead and follow us on Twitter at @bball_nerd. We post great content. You can also check us out on our website at basketballnerd.com.
Yep.
We really need all the follows and really all the feedback we can get right now.
Just
We'd love
the
the
beginning.
support.
We're getting started.
Yeah, send us a DM. Let us know your name. Let us know your favorite team. Let us know what we can do better and what you like about the podcast and what you don't. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you tune into the games tonight. We'll be having episode 5 come in the end of this week. Let you know kind of updates and get you ready for the end of these series, which are sure to be extremely exciting.
Like and subscribe.
All right, you guys have a good one. Thanks for tuning in.
You're listening to the Basketball Nerd Podcast.